rage at Metropolitan Ford, metropolitanford.com, and it includes the all-new redesigned 2025 Ford Explorer. But wait, there's more. How about employee pricing plus 2 years of maintenance at no cost? Not enough yet? How about employee pricing, 2 years of free maintenance plus 3.9% financing for up to 66 months on approved credit? MetropolitanFord.com to take advantage. It's MetropolitanFord.com.
iHeartRadio's got you covered for the summer. Sail on with commercial-free weekends on Yacht Rock Radio. Roll down the windows for road trips with summer playlists like Summer Classics. Or just escape into a podcast. Your summer soundtrack is already in your pocket with the free iHeartRadio app. Find your next summer preset now.
Here's your AccuWeather forecast for today. Sunny to partly cloudy, breezy and warmer with a strong thunderstorm late this afternoon. Could bring some flooding, hail, damaging winds, even an isolated tornado with a high up to 88. Considerably cloudy tonight with a strong thunderstorm this evening, followed by a shower in spots late with low 61. Partly sunny tomorrow with a high up to 87. Mostly cloudy tomorrow night with low 58. With your AccuWeather forecast, I'm Ruth O'Brien.
Easterly Skakawea today, south wind 10 to 20. Patchy fog this morning, chance of a shower till the afternoon. Chance of thunderstorms in the afternoon. Cloudy, mid-80s. South wind tonight 10 to 15 will shift to the west early tomorrow morning. Chance of thunderstorms the evening, partly cloudy to start, becoming mostly cloudy overnight tonight, upper 50s. Over the Lake Oahe, south wind 10 to 20. Patchy fog early on. Cloudy, but becoming mostly sunny, upper 80s. Southeast wind 10 to 20 till early morning, and becoming light. Chance of thunderstorms through the night. Slight chance of a thunderstorm after midnight. Cloudy, lower 60s. Devil's Lake, south wind 10 to 20. Patchy fog early. Cloudy early, becoming mostly sunny, 75 to 85. South wind 10 to 20 tonight. Chance of thunderstorms through the night. Showers likely late evening. Cloudy, lower 60s. Tomorrow, west wind 10 to 20 with some sun and in the 80s. Dense fog advisory in effect. South Central and Central North Dakota till 10 this morning, Central Time. And Bismarck is southeast wind at 10 now. Pressure continuing to fall, 29.86. Relative humidity, 97%. Fog, mist, and 61. 812. K-Fire Radio, your news and weather authority.
I am the god of K-Fire. Todd Mitchell.
Todd Mitchell.
It was on this date in 1885. Chichester Bell and Charles Tainter applied for a patent for the gramophone. The first song was with Keith Richards on it. The umpteenth Keith Richards joke. There we are. 8:13. Clay Peterson Guns in the 701 next.
It's a new talk show just for the Dakotas. Dakota Mornings with Michael Bell. Weekdays from 9 till 11 on K-Fire 550, 99.7, and iHeartRadio.
Our iHeartRadio Music Festival, presented by Capital One, is back in Vegas.
T-Mobile Arena.
September 19th and 20th, streaming live only on Hulu. Starring John Fogerty, Bryan Adams, Sammy Hagar, Mariah Carey, Tim McGraw, Jelly Roll, Ed Sheeran, and more. 15 artists, 2 nights, 1 stage, superstar performances, and once-in-a-lifetime artist moments you'll have to see to believe. Get your iHeartRadio Music Festival tickets now at AXS.com.
Ever wanted to stay on vacation longer? Us too. With Vrbo's long stay discounts, you can stay longer and save more on select properties. Gotta love a win-win. Book the perfect summer getaway today with Vrbo Private Vacation Rentals. Your future self will thank you later.
Employee pricing is all the rage at Metropolitan Ford, metropolitanford.com, and it includes the all-new redesigned 2025 Ford Explorer. But wait, there's more. How about employee pricing plus 2 years of maintenance at no cost? Not enough yet? How about employee pricing, 2 years of free maintenance plus 3.9% financing for up to 66 months on approved credit? MetropolitanFord.com to take advantage. It's MetropolitanFord.com.
Want to win cash while watching sports? All it takes is 3 simple steps. Download the Better app, pick more or less on player stats, watch the games, and win some cash. It's that simple. Better Picks is available in 33 states, including Texas, California, and Georgia. Download the Better app today. That's Better, B-E-T-R, and get a free $10, no deposit necessary. Must be 21 or older and in a jurisdiction where Better Picks operates. Terms and conditions apply. Better Picks. Sports just got better.
At Noodles & Company, we know noodles. It's in our name. We've been doing noodles for 30 years, and we put everything we know into an entirely new menu. Hear that? That's the sound of us chopping more fresh ingredients, because we know fresh tastes better. That's us sautéing your dish to order, because we know fire gives it more flavor. And this is the sound of noodles bringing people together, because we know they're the one thing we can all agree on. Explore our new menu with bolder new flavors and new takes on our classics at noodles.com.
iHeartRadio's got you covered for the summer. Sail on with commercial-free weekends on Yacht Rock Radio. Roll down the windows for road trips with summer playlists like Summer Classics. Or just escape into a podcast. Your summer soundtrack is already in your pocket with the free iHeartRadio app. Find your next summer preset now.
iHeartRadio.
816 K-Fire 550 Guns at the 701. Clay, how's it going?
No, pretty good. How we doing, Todd?
Well, it's Friday. It's McQuaid weekend. The weekend's going to be fantastic for softball or whatever one has going on. I mean,
yeah.
I'm going to have less of an excuse to blow off mowing my lawn. I guess I better get that done.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get hay put up down here, and I don't think we're supposed to get this nasty stuff that you guys are going to possibly get this afternoon.
It could be a little iffy this afternoon, but tomorrow and Sunday look just absolutely perfect. So I'm hoping I just jinx it by saying that now, because watch.
I was listening to you here a little bit earlier. It's like, wow, what do you guys got going on up there? I mean, you got people shooting homeless people, and I mean, wow.
I know. I got to admit, I got to read this stuff, and I've lived in bigger cities where that's kind of the norm. You get that stuff all the time, so you get numb to it. But then living here for 29 years, it's like, wait a minute, this stuff doesn't happen. But, got a guy up from Texas, and his mom said, he's been doing meth. Ugh.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so
there's
that's
always some kind of issue, isn't there?
And you're going to find meth everywhere. I think we've got less of it per capita here, and maybe I'm wrong, because I don't do meth.
I don't.
I do life. My life drives me crazy enough. I don't need drugs. But I really do feel like we've got less of it going on here than plenty of other places we could both name. So, but it's still going to hit, and I don't care where nobody's immune to it.
Nobody. It's everywhere. It seems like, yeah.
But you're right. It was that, and then the clubbing story. It's like, really? Come on, people.
It's like, wow, man. Looks like they did during Rodney King. Can't we just all get along? Remember that whole deal? Oh, my goodness. Yeah.
Well, but in fact of the matter is, that's 2 stories one day. Show me another day all year long where you've had 2 stories like that in the same newscast, and I'm not sure I can come up with one.
Well, that's how it always goes. I mean, we saw that even on things like school shootings. They're actually lower than what the media perceives them as. They just report every single one of them. and if you go actually look at the numbers over a 20-year span, yes, they happened, but they're not as common as one thinks. They just get reported time after time after time again, which, it is the news, but they didn't used to do that. So
I'm just glad we got smart and decided maybe fire drills aren't the smartest thing we could do with kids.
You think? Yeah.
When's the last time a school burned down?
Well, they're made of brick and steel anymore.
Exactly. Well, even the old schools I went to in the Twin Cities, those were brick, and those were built in the one of the 20s, one of the teens. So
same thing here.
They don't burn down. So let's not make the kids targets, which we've discovered. I realize I'm ranting about some we've already solved, but but still, it's like, no. Who thought this would be needed?
I mean, it's like a fire extinguisher on a boat. That's a requirement too. But, you're in a body of water. Anyway.
Well, you never know. But I feel like if all of a sudden we needed to run out of school when we were kids, we'd figure out how.
Pretty sure of it.
Just go!
Yeah.
And me being the slowest kid of the group, I'd be the last one out the door. So.
Yeah, you only have to be faster than the slowest
and all
person.
The candy and gum you brought to school that you weren't supposed to bring to school. Ha ha! Mine now. Finders keepers goes into effect. 820 at K-Fire. Uncle Ted Nugent testifying at the... By the way, if you haven't seen Ted since the 80s, you really need to take a look. Because if you haven't seen him since the 80s, I don't know if you'd recognize him if he walked in the room.
Well, he's getting up there in age, but he's still just as... I don't know, he hasn't lost his mental capacity.
Oh, heck no. I'm just saying he has a different look to him, that's all.
He does. And
guess what? So do I, so do you, so does everybody, but...
What I love about Ted is he is unequivocal in his beliefs. The man does not care. He's got the luxury of the freedom to do so. He's got the money to take care of problems that maybe a lot of us wouldn't. And I think this might be one of them. The reason I brought this is because everyone knows old Uncle Ted. He was up in Michigan testifying, essentially because of the Michigan Department of Natural Resources and their ridiculous regulations and enforcements that they're doing over there in that state. And he even addressed CWD. Above this, even on his show, the CWD thing in North Dakota even made an appearance on his show, Spirit of the Wild. So Ted's pretty active yet, especially politically. But he went there and he carried conceal into the state capitol. And essentially they have this whole, when I was looking into it, evidently have a weapons detection device at their entrance, which I think is kind of funny. Well, it either failed or gave an alert and someone didn't see it. That's the story. I imagine there's a lot of people trying to cover their rear ends because somebody messed up probably. I have no doubt it probably detected it, but that isn't the story they're putting out there. But he went on in. The big takeaway from this is this is not a law in Michigan, okay? The state Capitol Commission are the ones who voted to ban firearms and all weapons within that building. And the only way they got it through is they put a carve-out in there for the state senators and the state legislators and people within government. Ain't that funny? Government don't want you to protect yourself, but by golly, government can go ahead and do what they want. That's pretty much what they said as far as I'm concerned.
We have to be beholden to government. I mean, they're the ones with the solutions, and we just need to march in lockstep. And
Yeah, they know everything, right?
Right. I knew you couldn't say it with a straight face. I knew it. Anyway.
But the whole takeaway is, so here's a guy, whether it's Ted Nugent or anyone, they went in there. He was carrying concealed. Nobody else really probably knew it until a Democrat, and she basically, her name's Lori Pahusky, I believe is how you pronounce it. She alerted the Michigan State Police, and then when I was looking farther into this on some of the local stuff, someone tipped her off, or she wouldn't have known. So he was in there concealed, not bothering anybody, doing his civic duty, exercising his freedom, the government of self-governance, and testifying. He did his testimony, and then he was approached afterwards. It is unclear whether he left immediately or what's going to happen. I don't even know if there's going to be charges, but that's what interests me. If they charge him with something, I don't know what it would be. It's a rule and a regulation. It is not law. People got to remember, all this stuff, they treat it as law. They treat it with the weight of law. But many times, if you have the means and you go to court, you will beat it. And I would love to see what happens if they try to charge Ted, because he had a little issue in South Dakota too, and he eventually was able to overcome that one. And same kind of ruling, really. This could be a precedent-setting thing if they decide to try and take him to court. And it'll be interesting to see how it goes, because he can legally carry a firearm. He even has a concealed carry. And I don't remember. I know he lives in Texas now, but I don't know if he's still a resident of Michigan. So that might be interesting. But I just love the fact that Ted Nugent just basically said, I don't care. I'm sure he was aware of it. And he did it anyway. And he's always challenging what he finds unconstitutional rules and regulations. And that's what I love about the guy. He does not care. He's pretty bold. And he just does it. So I'm very interested to see where this goes because he did it. It's making news. I don't know if it's made national news. You'd think it would have because Ted's always in the national news, it seems like. But
it's the huge Nuge. Of course the huge Nuge makes news.
Yes. Oh, great. Now I'm going to get a copy. Now I'm going to get a copyright ding on my streaming that I'm doing.
Oh.
That's okay.
10 seconds, it's called sampling. It's okay. Rappers do it all the time.
But yeah, I found it very funny when you listen to what the lady said here, the state rep. She's always, it's about our safety. That's funny. It's always about safety. And in all reality, they were probably the safest they ever been having Ted Nugent in the room carrying. If anything would have happened, I guarantee you he knows how to use his self-defense firearm. He was a board member with the NRA. I unfortunately did not get the chance to meet him, but he was very active in our programs back then. And I guarantee you this guy knows how to handle his firearm, and he wouldn't hesitate if he felt there was a threat. So, like I said, they were probably the safest they ever been.
We need to just turn a criminal loose to prove the point?
Yeah, no kidding.
I mean, not actually shoot anybody, but, or give them blanks or something, but, prove the point. I mean, come on. Or paintball. There you go. Paintball. We'll do a paintball thing.
There we go.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, we're not advocating for no.
No, of course not. Of course not. But at the same time, and by the way, nobody likes a tattletale. Shut your big mouth. He's not hurting you. He's minding his own business.
Yeah. Well, you know how this came about. So in 2020, when you had the China virus scam going on, they had the lockdown. People were protesting. They flooded the state capitol in Michigan. A lot of them were carrying. Heck, some of them even had. I remember when that happened without even reading this. Some of them even had their rifles slung over them. They actually were in the chamber. They were basically, they were overlooking senators in the upper part. They were there. Not one single one of them caused anybody to die by a firearm. Nobody pulled a firearm, anyone. They just had them. And I imagine that was for their own self-protection against a tyrannical government. I mean, let's face it. They were exercising the very true meaning of the Second Amendment. They didn't use them. They didn't have to use them, but they had them. And that's what prompted this and prompted the state capitol commission to ban them all. Oh, my goodness. We have citizens. We've got the same problem in North Dakota and South Dakota. You can't carry in those two buildings, which is, to me, absurd. Always has been. We're not the people you got to worry about.
No.
And there's only so many state police or highway patrolmen as they protect, up here in Bismarck. There's only so many of them, and I guarantee you they can't protect everybody all the time everywhere. Can't happen.
Did you know, it's a little-known fact, did you know when they drew up the Declaration of Independence, they didn't have to walk through a metal detector when they went in that room?
No, they didn't.
Did you know that? So, and they lived... Once we got rid of those pesky British,
well,
who now, of course, are our best friends, but that's...
Well, they just fought a war, and part of that is the king was actually dictating to the troops they sent over here, to bring these colonialists under their thumb, just confiscate their guns, and they did it in a lot of roundabout ways, and they finally, when they won, they're like, no, we're not doing that again, and boom, Second Amendment appeared, right?
There you go. Dexter says, when you were on with Clay this morning, I thought you said there was a fellow up there doing meth. I thought you said he was doing math. What's wrong with that? Yeah, those pesky math heads. Good grief. And their pocket protectors and Revenge of the Nerds Part 16 and stuff. Good grief. Anyway, we're doing math.
Nah.
Clay Peterson goes to the 701. It's 8:29. More coming up.
K-Fire 550.
Coming up on the Friday edition of the Clay Travis and Buck Sexton Show, the Socialist Mamdani Revolution, starting in New York City, but now it is a national story. Democrat Party starting to look like it wants to go even further left. We will discuss. Plus, the one and only Donald Trump Jr. will be with us to talk about the parallel economy and an exciting new project he's working on. Join us on Clay and Buck.
This morning at 11 on K-Fire.
Here's your AccuWeather forecast for today. Sunny to partly cloudy, breezy and warmer with a strong thunderstorm late this afternoon. Could bring some flooding, hail, damaging winds, even an isolated tornado with a high up to 88. Considerably cloudy tonight with a strong thunderstorm this evening, followed by a shower in spots late with low 61. Partly sunny tomorrow with a high up to 87. Mostly cloudy tomorrow night with low 58. With your AccuWeather forecast, I'm Ruth O'Brien.
Right now it is 60.
It's Mitchell in the morning. K-Fire 550.
Taking proactive steps can reduce delays. We're looking into severely damaged irrigation systems and $12 million to combat CWD. Tell Mitchell pinch hitting on the Dakota Farm and Ranch.
LAUER Auto Repair, located at 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Give them a call at 701-258-6308.
The team of mechanics at LAUER Auto can take care of any problem your vehicle is having. And when you do business with LAUER, you can be assured you're doing business with a pro Second Amendment America First repair shop. There are plenty of other auto repair shops in the Bismarck-Mandan area. But why take a chance at patronizing a shop that might not have your beliefs at heart? Make no mistake. LAUER Auto is your pro Second Amendment repair shop. When you talk to the guys at LAUER Auto, don't forget to tell them that you heard they are a sponsor of Guns and the 701 and that you appreciate their support of our pro Second Amendment, pro North Dakota live stream and podcast. That's LAUER Auto Repair, 701-258-6308.
701-258-6308.
Located 309 South Washington Street in Bismarck, North Dakota.
Experience the exhilaration of power in your hands at Bloodline Kinetics. Why Cerakote? Simply, it aids in firearm preservation while also giving your piece a unique look. Barrel threading, NFA laser engraving, bolt handle threading, mount, level, and bore, sight scope chamber rebarreling, and much more. Bloodline Kinetics is meant to reflect a long American lineage in gun ownership, who stand for the Second Amendment rights, Bloodline, and the science behind gun accuracy. Kinetics. To some, it's just a constitutional right that can go away. To us, it's in our American bloodline, and we believe it should stay that way. Here at Bloodline Kinetics, we understand that hunters, sportsmen, women, and gun owners should have a quality firearm. Stop and see us at 2008 Morrison Avenue 2 in Bismarck, North Dakota, 58504, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 701-390-7997. Visit our website, bloodlinekinetics.com.
Looking for the best gun gear for every and any situation? Little Angry Man Arms LLC has you covered. Top-notch guns from top-name brands like Winchester, Glock, Sig Sauer, and Ruger to essential extras from Magpul, Streamlight, Hollow, Sun Optics, and more. Little Angry Man Arms LLC have everything to make your shooting adventures a success. Visit littleangrymanarms.com today and gear up for your next big hunt, competition, or home defense. Don't miss out on our exclusive deals. Little Angry Man Arms LLC, based in Trail City, South Dakota, your ultimate hunting partner.
At Horton Laser Craft, we believe in the power of personalization. Whether it's a cherished memory, a special occasion, or a unique gift, our custom laser engraving brings your vision to life. Our expert craftsmen and state-of-the-art technology ensure every piece is a work of art. From personalized decor to one-of-a-kind keepsakes, Horton Lasercraft makes every moment unforgettable. Horton Lasercraft is owned and operated by a local veteran and his wife located near Thunderhawk, South Dakota. They provide custom laser products at a reasonable price, and their turnaround time is fast and efficient.
Custom board cutting, glassware, decanter sets, mugs, assorted stainless steel jewelry, assorted tags,
decor, custom acrylic nightlights, and much, much more. Call them up at 605-545-7535. Horton Lasercraft, where memories are engraved.
House Republican Ralph Norman tells Fox.
We're taking out provisions that the House worked long and hard for, and it's taking out provisions that, the 12 committees agreed to on the spending cuts, and now here they are weighing in. I don't buy it, and I think they ought to be challenged on it.
House members being briefed on Operation Midnight Hammer while Iran's foreign minister contradicts the Ayatollah, says damage to its nuclear program was excessive. The Supreme Court releases the final 6 end-of-term decisions today, including parents' rights in Maryland. America is listening to Fox News.
And now from North Dakota's News Authority, Todd Mitchell, K-Fire Radio News.
61 in Bismarck, Mandan. It's a dense fog advisory till 10, but the sun coming out later on, and then late this afternoon, a strong thunderstorm could happen through the late afternoon into the evening. Maybe a shower in spots late tonight, but then sunshine the next few days, a little breezy, well into the 80s, 88 today, 87 tomorrow, 82 Sunday. $100,000 bond set for Jamal Buckhalter, arrested for allegedly shooting a homeless man Tuesday night in Bismarck, faces an attempted murder charge, carries a maximum 20-year sentence, mandatory minimum of 4. Authorities have not disclosed a motive yet. Assistant State's Attorney Britta Joyce said the bond reflects the seriousness of the charge and Buckhalter's limited ties to the community. He told the court he moved from Texas about a year ago, had been staying at a local homeless shelter. Buckhalter arrested Wednesday morning after police identified him as a suspect in a shooting outside Missio Church on South 12th. A resident and a Dream Center employee helped locate him. A 9mm Glock was found under a porch where he had reportedly slept. His mother indicated that he'd been acting erratically due to meth use. Authorities are asking those in Colonial Estates to review security footage. Maybe some additional leads there. Bismarck authorities charging 2 men for beating another man, Charles Holzer, Joshua Kurzman, accused of hitting the victim in the head with a club earlier this week. The man taken to a hospital with a head injury is expected to recover. Jury trials coming up in October. Cass County's declaration of emergency indefinite now as the cleanup continues there. Minot Police compliance check at tobacco businesses. Last time 13 sold to minors. This time only 3, but 2 of them for the second time. So they'll have a 7-day suspension of their respective licenses. Sobriety checkpoints increasing next week. Highway Patrol is going to be cracking down in Bottineau and Grant counties 4th of July weekend. But you'll want to be safe this weekend as well. The Sam McQuaid Senior Budweiser Charity Softball Tournament through the weekend in Bismarck, Mandan, with over 370 teams. KFI Radio News Time, 8:37.
Storms don't just leave a mess.
You've got an app for your music, but what about your favorite morning show, sports team, or live local news and weather?
See things start to change.
Yep, there's an app for all that too. iHeartRadio. Download the #1 app for radio, the free iHeartRadio app.
How do you make an Airbnb a Vrbo? Picture a vacation rental with a host who's showing you every room like you've never seen a house before. Now get rid of them. There you go. No host ever. Now it's a Vrbo. Make it a Vrbo.
Raise the rudder! Raise the sails! Raise the sails!
Captain, an unidentified ship is approaching. Over.
Roger. Wait, is that an enterprise sales solution?
Reach sales professionals, not professional sailors. With LinkedIn ads, you can target the right people by industry, job title, and more. We'll even give you a $100 credit on your next campaign. Get started today at linkedin.com/generate. Terms and conditions apply.
Here's your AccuWeather forecast for today. Sunny to partly cloudy, breezy and warmer with a strong thunderstorm late this afternoon. Could bring some flooding, hail, damaging winds, even an isolated tornado with a high up to 88. Considerably cloudy tonight with a strong thunderstorm this evening, followed by a shower in spots late with low 61. Partly sunny tomorrow with a high up to 87. Mostly cloudy tomorrow night with low 58. With your AccuWeather forecast, I'm Ruth O'Brien.
8:39 dense fog advisory, 61 in Bismarck. More with Clay Peters and Guns in this 701.
You've got an app for your music, but what about your favorite morning show, sports team, or live local news and weather?
See things start to change.
Yep, there's an app for all that too. iHeartRadio. Download the #1 app for radio, the free iHeartRadio app.
At Homes.com, we do whatever it takes to get you the in-depth info on local schools you won't find anywhere else. Things like student-teacher ratio, test scores, and school programs. And sometimes that requires attending school recitals. So many recitals.
That's my son. Isn't he terrific?
Yeah, a real prodigy. Homes.com. We've done your homework.
When you drive the Nissan Frontier, this sound is the sound of exploring new trails. It's the sound of a 310 horsepower V6 engine charging up a cliffside. Sounds like going places and towing the boat with you. Sounds like a great weekend. Where will you go in the V6 powered Nissan Frontier? Up to 7,150 pounds towing for the 2025 Frontier S 4x2. Towing capacity varies by configuration. See Nissan Towing Guide and Owner's Manual for additional information. Cargo and load capacity limited by weight and distribution. Always secure cargo.
Upgrading your smart TV just got easier with the new Roku Streaming Stick and Roku Streaming Stick Plus. They power directly from your TV, clutter-free, so you can get plugged into America's #1 streaming platform. Access features such as backdrops and voice remote, tune into live TV and sports for free, and stream the best apps like iHeart, where you can listen to your favorite music, radio, and podcasts all for free. Head over to Roku.com and meet the new Roku players. It's on. Roku.
Are you having a hard time finding renters for your townhome?
It's definitely been a struggle.
Just list your place on Apartments.com and sit back because we have millions of renters.
Now, when's this available?
What are the neighbors like? Are they good?
No, the
bad?
subway
What
title
is
is
happening? No matter the rental property, Apartments.com will find you a renter, and your place is a hit. Now, luckily, you can screen tenants on the site.
You know, I love the size of the bedroom.
Easy peasy. Apartments.com, the place to list a place.
If you drive a big rig, you know that if your wheels keep turning, you keep earning. That's why Shell Rotella with advanced synthetic technology is designed to help keep your rig running all day long and save you money in the long run. That means less time in the shop and more time on the road. It also means you'll get more chances to see North America's finest roadside attractions. Cows, cornfields, cows in cornfields. It's lovely this time of year. Superior engine protection for longer engine life. Shell Rotella for the long haul.
842 at K-Fire Guns to the 701. Clay, I just got this, and I hope I can play it well enough to be able to have you hear it because it's coming out of my phone, but it was entirely too good.
Okay, so since Trump won the election, we're cooked. Yup. I'm gonna be leaving the U.S. and I'm gonna be moving to Hawaii.
Gonna be moving to Hawaii.
Oh,
there
yeah.
you have it.
When you that has got to be the biggest fail.
The sad. No, I can't get my phone to shut up. The sad part about that is, you never know if somebody's serious or not.
That guy probably was.
Sometimes parody is so close to real life that you can't tell where the line gets drawn.
Very true.
Let us hope that was just parody. But if it's not, somebody's in for a rude awakening. I don't know if they heard what happened back in '59, but statehood.
Yeah.
I remember reading something about that in school back in the day or something. I don't know.
Well, see, when you and I went to school, they actually taught us things like that. History,
we also had flat maps you pulled down in front of the chalkboard, so we all thought the Earth was flat.
Well, I never thought that, I guess. But
well, sure.
I imagine.
Yeah, that
Must be,
round
right? It's just on
globe
a
didn't
map.
come up till later. I mean, come on.
I mean, there's a flat Earth society still today. They have
know.
a national convention in Las Vegas every year. It's like, wow.
Well,
all right.
I've talked about this on the air before, but there's, ironically, right before COVID hit, there was a flat Earth cruise to the edge of the ice wall. So I was kicking the tires to see if I could talk iHeart into putting the bill for me to go, and then I'd be a correspondent. And I was hearing something for a while, and then I wasn't. And then I was hearing something on Coast to Coast about it, and I realized, sure, they put those guys onto it. Well, then COVID hit, and nobody went anywhere. So,
Well, I did, but yeah.
Well,
I went to Florida that year, actually. So
that's the only place you could go, right? You could go to Florida or South Dakota. Otherwise you stayed at home in North Dakota.
In fact, in April 2020, we had a huge party out here on our deck just to say, you know what? Yeah, go ahead and pound it. You know, we don't care. All the neighbors came. We had a great time. We had barbecue, and it was a real fun time.
Well, and you heard how, Canada, those poor people, narc on your neighbor up. They're not wearing a mask when they go to the bathroom or whatever, Okay, I'm exaggerating a little bit.
We were probably the only ones that had a restaurant open down here, and that was a Fast Eddie's just here in Morristown, because they said, the guy there, he goes, I'm not running out to the curbside, which is kind of funny, and if you've ever seen Morristown, it's not much of a curb and a dirt road. He says, no,
side of the roadside. Do they have a curb?
There actually is a curb there.
Oh, there is a curb. Okay.
Yeah,
because in small towns you don't have a curb because you just don't need it,
Right. And,
so how do you call it curbside then?
Well, he just said, I'm not doing it. He says, I'm staying open, and they did, and it was probably one of the busiest places around here because there was nobody.
Because guess what? You still got to eat.
Yeah, and guess what? Nobody got sick. Imagine that. Everyone had a good time. They might have got the flu or the sniffles, but everyone was fine.
Just going to say. Because they checked carefully to make sure there wasn't a food poisoning thing, because otherwise that spreads around like, no, it wasn't. Gee whiz, people got food poisoning long before COVID ever hit. Stop it already. 846 at K-Fire. So an update on the Metcalf case in Montana. What's going on?
We've been following this on this program for some time now. Well, there's been a little movement again. Metcalf, of course, he was one of the guys that, his name's Gabriel Metcalf. He's from Billings, Montana. And he was in a, quote, gun-free zone, which he wasn't. He was on his own property. Back and forth with local police. And they said, nope, we can't arrest him. Nope, you're not violating them. He had a problem and a dispute with a neighbor, so he felt threatened. And he did. He'd mow his lawn with his gun strapped on. I mean, he wasn't taking any chances, and that's his right to do so. Well, now it's in front of the Ninth Circuit. It's been appealed before. You have a Carter appointee, you have a Obama appointee, and you have a Trump appointee all on there. And they are arguing back and forth, the attorneys, as to, did he violate the law? Is this something that he's guilty of, or is it not? And they're trying to go to another, it's the rehab decision that the Supreme Court did on June 21st, 2019. But that has really no standing in this case. And that's what these judges are asking now, saying, does this have any bearing on this? I'd say Bruin is more relevant than that case, because that involved an illegal alien that was here and overstayed his student visa, bought a firearm and some ammo. He wasn't doing anything wrong. He just isn't a United States citizen, so he couldn't do that under the way he did it. And they said, well, he didn't intentionally violate the law. So we got a couple things going. If that case is relevant and they are able to prove that Metcalf really didn't understand he might have been violating the law, especially after several times of the local police officers saying, nope, he did not. He's done nothing to violate the laws in the state of Montana. This could be an interesting case. It could be an interesting argument and a good decision, because it may be another step forward in getting rid of the unconstitutional gun-free zones. And I just, that's why I've been following this. But there hasn't been any movement on it for a long time. And I imagine, depending on how this goes, if it goes goes forth and goes in front of the entire Ninth Circuit. We'll see what a decision comes down, because this is taking place in Oregon. The Ninth, Rush always called it the Ninth Circus because that's about how bad they were. And so we'll see how it goes. But this will probably be the last step before, if anything happens and it's a bad decision, I imagine then it will be appealed to the Supreme Court. And I really do see, this is not the first time we've seen cases, but this one has good standing, that if this went before the Supreme Court, I think you'd see a 6-3 decision. I think that's how it would come down, maybe a 6-4, depending on how Tommy Comey would, Barrett, she would vote. But I think that's what you'd see is in a decision that would overturn the gun-free zone based on Bruin, because there's no historical preference. There's no historical precedent set for a gun-free zone. There just isn't. So that's why I'm following it. We gave you an update here. They've got 14 days to submit briefs, both sides. Not more than 10 pages. I love how they know lawyers are long-winded, too. 10 pages.
What? No. Don't tell me that.
By the way, did you know that the Gun-Free Zone Act was actually found unconstitutional in 1995? And, of course, Democrats were in control then, so...
Yeah, I was going to say, during the Clinton administration, how the heck did Hillary let that happen?
Oh, well, yeah, but they changed.
Hillary.
They went in there. They made Hillary. They made 12. There was 12 words essentially that they thought changed it. So they changed it, and it has never really truly been challenged since then. I still say it's unconstitutional. I mean, if you live in that zone around a school, and we saw this in New Orleans when they tried to classify their new police department down there around that Bourbon Street area as a educational facility and call it a school, even though it was not a law enforcement training center or a school. And, of course, that got struck down. But that's what people do. They try to take these things. Oh, well, that's a school, so now there's no carrying. Even though the whole state is right to carry. Nope, you can't do it around this particular perimeter. We're going to call it a school or an education facility.
So if it was a gun school, what would that mean?
I don't know.
Really confusing. 8:51 at K-Fire's Clay Peterson, Guns of the 701. All right, is Happy Ending Chronicle of the Week and a very important date to put on your calendar. Well, it's already on your calendar, but something to put in that box.
Yeah, we got next week, July 2nd, we got the All-American Great Outdoor Show, I guess is what Jamie calls it, and I thought that was a great way to say it. We have Governor Kelly Armstrong joining us, and we got the very own K-Fire and our very own Dakota Prairie Outdoors host Scott Buckmeyer joining me and Jamie. It should be a great show. It really should.
You guys got smart and didn't put me on there. Good job. And now the happy... I'm teasing. And the Happy Ending Chronicle of the Week.
Yes, this is actually Cross Point Community Church in Wayne, Michigan. Going back to Michigan here, right? It's a suburb of Detroit. There was scumbag. He's identified as 31-year-old Brian Anthony Browning. Isn't that ironic? This guy went in there to shoot people, and his last name is Browning. Which
there you go.
Browning. Yeah. Anyway,
even better if he shot a guy named Winchester. Man, really?
But he went in there. There was about 150 people present, and it was during the Vacation Bible School service at the.
Oh,
church.
No way!
Yeah, and.
I've got the joy down in my heart. I remember, yeah.
Yeah, and then boom, 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 right? So then he went in there. He's wearing
It'd be even funnier if it was during Neil Diamond.
Oh, my God. We're not even going
bang,
down there.
Bang. Sweet Caroline.
Oh,
Pop. Anyway.
Yeah,
go on.
Yeah. He had a semi-auto handgun. An extended magazine, big scary stuff, and a dozen additional magazines. So he was planning to do something. He began shooting, but get this. There was a member of the church there who seen this. He's like, not on my watch. He took his vehicle and he run him over, basically. When I went and looked at the local report, it stopped him, didn't kill him, but then the church itself had a security detail there, and they basically entered into a gunfight with this guy, not very long, and they fatally shot Mr. Browning. He assumed room temperature. He's going to be a threat no more to the area or to the church. And then when you go look at the local reports, they interviewed the pastor, and the pastor, of course, first thing out of this journalist's mouth that was interviewing him said, "What do you think now? Do you think we need stricter gun control in the state of Michigan?" He goes, "No, absolutely not." He says, "Nothing else. I'm advocating for more right-to-type carry stuff."
Exactly.
This was a great example. He says, "We were lucky we had a security detail because we implemented that years ago." He goes, "This is just another reason why we should have concealed carry and open carry and right to carry." In a nutshell, that's what he said. And I was like, wow, that is great to hear.
Yeah, no kidding. It's just nauseating that, the media's got to, get that one wrong for the umpteenth time. But
it was sad, though, that I did find out that evidently this guy had some mental issues. And it's like we've been saying, this isn't a gun problem. This isn't a Second Amendment
Exactly.
problem. This is a mental issue problem, and we still have that. It's an ongoing problem that still exists today, and nobody's really still addressed it. They just blame the item rather than blame the case, and I don't know how.
Forgetting that Kane threw a rock at Abel or whoever.
Yeah,
somebody threw a rock at somebody. I forget who it was. It's been a while.
You might even have a T-shirt with that on it. The original song.
I do have that, as a matter of fact. Clay Peterson goes to the 701. Don't forget the All-American Outdoor Show on the 2nd. So
2nd of July.
Don't make different plans because you're going to want to be on
What a way
that.
to kick off your Independence Day weekend. Tune into the All-American Outdoor Show and get some great updates from the governor. I know he bought a few new firearms since then, exercising his Second Amendment.
Heck.
And it don't get any better than that. We got, I believe, the most pro-Second Amendment governor. We had what I consider now the most pro-Second Amendment North Dakota GOP chairman. We had Mr. Matthew Simon on last Wednesday, and that was a great show, so go check it out. Find everything on iHeart. We got everything posted there under Guns in the 701.
Happy.
All of our other platforms.
In all honesty, it doesn't take much to be the most Second Amendment-friendly governor. I mean, consider what's out there. It's not really saying that much in and of itself, but there you have it. All right, Clay, have a great weekend, man.
You too. We'll talk to you later, and I won't be on Friday because I think you're going to be gone. And
next Friday we're observing the holiday, but just tune into the All-American Outdoor Show. You'll get your fix.
Perfect.
All right.
Awesome.
Take care, Clay.
Yep.
Talk to you in a
Bye.
couple weeks. Happy birthday, Dan Shears, 67 today. Connie Anderson is 67 as well.